that's true. She don't even take L's, the alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, 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 mayday, mayhem. She a cool black nerd, always been smart.
And hello to another episode of Mayday Mayhaim Mystery. And I am your host, Mayday Mayhaim. I know the camera looks a little, this is not my favorite laptop I'm on right now, but we're here. So, right, Allie, if you heard her in the background. So, now, I know we just finished up with March. But just because we finished up with March doesn't mean March Madness is really over with. Let's take a look at this right here, okay? Let me share my screen with you. Now, what we are about to hear is pretty much Operation March Madness, which took place in Polk County. So any of the Southerns down there know about Polk County, where they allegedly caught 4 child predators. Now, we do understand that we live in a nation where child predators run rampant, and they have so many outlets on how they do these predatorial deeds, whether it's through Instagram, Facebook, adoption, or just being skeevy and slimy individuals. But they do these operations every now and then to catch these type of individuals that send and say lewd, insidious acts to children. So this is one big one. And please, if you're reading from my banner, take a look at some of the pictures that he is going to show. Because not only is he talking about them, he's showing pictures. He's showing. So take a good look. I'm going to link the entire video below. But we're going to go through this, and we finna go through this. So let's take a listen.
It's unbelievable the victims we get with our human trafficking operations. And
human trafficking.
We identified one this time that I'll talk about without her name. Many times it takes follow-up investigation by this wonderful team of counselors in order to get there. Well, let's start with Mr. Finley.
Take a look at that picture, y'all.
Mr. Finley is not involved in this from a human trafficking / prostitution operation. But we hit a grand slam in that we also found child sex predators. And he's the first child sex predator that we identified. He's 39 years of age. He's a handyman. He's from Mulberry. And he traveled to our undercover location thinking he was going to engage a very young child for sex.
Y'all heard he was from Mulberry, right? That's some bullshit. I got to keep it nice over here. But he was from Mulberry, and he's what? A handyman.
Newsflash. It wasn't a very young child. It was a group of detectives. He's been charged as a result for traveling, for resisting arrest. That's right. He ran from us. He didn't want to go to jail. He had meth. He was also a
I don't know what's going on. What happened?
Pool sculpting is life-changing. Like seriously. I got pool sculpting mainly because my chin area has always been a source of insecurity, and with age.
And with the heartbreaking news of Amari's murder, his maternal grandmother is now talking to us.
Oh, that's weird. That was weird. That was like totally weird. I got it back. I don't know how Amari Nicholson jumped up in here, but that was weird. But we're gonna go back to the stream.
charged with attempted lewd battery and transmission of some very ugly stuff that he thought was going to a 13-year-old child. So it would have been a grand slam week for all of our resources and efforts if we'd have just gotten Timothy Finley, who thought he was traveling to meet a child. It's pretty nervy if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was showing up at the child's residence when he thought mom and dad weren't there.
See?
But he wasn't alone. Then there's Shannon Johnson. He's 41.
Look at that
He's
bullshit.
from Orlando. You know, it's interesting the Orlando stations aren't here today. They should be, because they got a lot of these problems over in Orlando, and the community over there needs to be made aware of it.
Now, we do know what's in Orlando, right? We do know, right? Orlando, Florida. What is in Orlando, Florida? Ain't that what Disney World is? Disneyland, where a lot of predators are around children. You know, you thinking, oh, you know, it's nothing. They're just this. Oh no, and then they're actually predators. One is a handyman, and a lot of these people, like they say, are from Orlando, and Orlando's police team is not even there. They're not even there. Let's continue.
He thought he was communicating with a 13-year-old child. He wanted to be her daddy. He wanted to have different kinds of sex with what he thought was a 13-year-old child. He works at a warehouse. He was charged with traveling, attempted lewd battery, transmission of photos of himself, nude photos, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have any children himself, but he wanted to play this game of daddy. That's right. He has a criminal history. And when we arrested him, he said, "You got me. You're right. We got him."
And it goes on,
so
people.
If we'd arrested 2 child predators, that would have been a grand slam week.
Mm-hmm.
But we got another one. This guy's from Gainesville. He's employed in construction. He did not travel, but he communicated with what he thought was a 14-year-old child online and said, "Don't tell the cops." And then he sent videos and stills of himself doing things an adult should never do in the presence of a child or publicly or recorded for public consumption. Nasty stuff. Rose here, Jody Rose, is a nasty, nasty guy. He's 36 years old.
And you noticing the ages, 36. These are older men, like grown-ass men. Excuse my French. Parlez-vous français? Oui, oui. But these grown men. And as you hear the sheriff, disgusting. Like, what the hell? But let's continue.
So we traveled to Gainesville to get him,
Mm.
or we had the Alachua Sheriff's Office travel for us to get him. When we arrested him, he said, it's just a misunderstanding. Maybe a misunderstanding on his part. It's not a misunderstanding on our part.
Nope.
He was sending nasty videos and photographs to children. No criminal history up until now. But now he's got 11 felony charges. So he made up for lost time with his arrest.
Good job.
That would have been a grand slam if we'd only gotten 3.
It goes on, y'all.
Xavier Jackson. He's 27.
27.
He thought he was chatting with a 14-year-old. And he sent photos of himself doing things that's totally inappropriate. He did not travel. So once again, the Orange and travel to arrest him, where he was charged with 3 counts of harmful material and 1 count of unlawful communication. Oh, did I mention that he just happens to be a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort for Disney? You think there's a few children around there? That's right. I didn't stutter. He was a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort for Disney and was bragging about that. So we were able to arrest 4 predators in this operation. This is huge. 4 arrests of this magnitude in a week is simply remarkable.
I don't know if anybody else saw his, but he was smiling. I'm kind of pissed that he was smiling, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's move on. These guys weren't predators, but they all have something in common with the last arrest. They work for Disney. So you have Wilkeson Fidel. He's 24. He lives in Orlando. He thought he was coming for sex. He's been a Disney employee for 4 years, and he works at the Cosmic Restaurant in Tomorrowland. Except now he is in the county jail if he hasn't made bond yet. And then there's Shahab Malav. He's 27. He's a software developer for Disney. He's worried because he's here on a work visa from India. He thought he was coming to have sex with 2 ladies. Surprise. Once again, undercover detectives. And there's Ralph Lease. He's 45. He lives in Winter Garden. He's an IT employee for Disney. He's been there about 4 years, and he's married. So I'm sure Disney's not pleased. I bet his wife's not pleased, but we're pleased that we arrested him.
And something that you're going to find out as we go through these a little bit more, some of these men are married. Yeah, some of them are married. They have girlfriends, they have children, they have wives, but yet you're out here preying on young children. It gets better. Just watch.
I'm going to tell you about a trafficker. It's not often we arrest traffickers at the undercover site, but we did. And normally when we arrest traffickers at the undercover site, it's a male. Let me introduce you to Tiffany Nash. She was the trafficker of a young lady. Tiffany's 32 years of age. Why she's not been busy committing crime, because she has 61 previous criminal charges, 41 of them felonies and 20 as misdemeanors. She's the manager of the Kentucky Fried Chicken in Orlando. Now, I just don't believe I'd want any finger-licking good chicken that she touched. Just saying.
This sheriff is the I love
What she
him.
does is
Sheriff.
she would set up the
The
deal,
sheriff's a good one.
and then she would force this young lady, this victim, to come along. This deal was for $300. If this lady were lucky, she would get $20. So the lady, the victim, Ubered over, followed by Tiffany, to make sure that the deal went right, and Tiffany got her.
Now, as you can see, that is a female in front of us. So women traffic also, okay? It's just not men. Women traffic also. There is a case going on right now about a month or so ago in New York where they arrested adoptive parents for what? Selling their children, the adoptive children. So it doesn't matter what sex, what age. She know it's wrong. She grown as hell. She ain't had no business out here doing this. But yet she's out here wanting to mess up another girl's life.
Her money. As soon as we took the victim down, ostensibly for an arrest, this wonderful team determined she's the victim. So she's not criminally charged, and she's not up here on this board because she's immediately turned over and treated as a victim, not a criminal suspect in an event. So Tiffany's been charged with human trafficking, deriving proceeds, possession of cocaine, possession of meth, possession of paraphernalia. And guess what?
What?
She's not managing the Kentucky Fried Chicken place today. She's in our county jail. And we don't serve finger-licking good chicken there.
He got jokes.
The victim has been turned over for services.
Thank God the victim has services done.
Then we have Daniel Peters.
Look at his old ass.
66 years old.
Look at that shit.
He thought he was coming for a girlfriend experience, kind of a date. He went on an escort site. Oh, can I show you the other picture of
Watch this, y'all.
Daniel Peters?
Whoa!
This is the Honorable Daniel Peters, who is the retired judge from Cook County, Illinois, or the dishonorable.
Y'all, us in Cook County, Illinois, take a look at his ass. He was arrested in a fucking state. I'm sorry, y'all. I get passionate because this is astounding. He is a judge, a retired judge. And guess what? He out here pedophiling and trafficking. 66 years old, a girlfriend experience. Excuse me? If there's anyone that has soft ears, you may want to leave the room for a hot second. Just give me 2 seconds. If you don't get your old ass up out of here, you 66-year-old motherfucking worm, you mean to tell me you ain't had the motherfucking girlfriend experience? Girlfriend experience. Oh, an escort site. You knew exactly what you was doing, you perverted fuck. I'm sorry, anybody whose ears is not soft, you may come back in now. I mean, ears that is soft. Y'all may come back in. Come back in. I'm nice now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But he's a judge. That's my point. He is a judge. I wonder what type of proceedings did he proceed over?
Judge Peters from Cook County, Illinois. And when we were doing our follow-up investigation to validate all of this, what did we find out?
What?
He also retired from the Cook County Sheriff's Office, according to him. That's right. He said he was a special assistant in legal affairs. And he worked, are you ready for this? In the Office of Professional Regulations, where he was the director. You're kidding me, right? No, I'm not kidding you. As my old daddy would have said, that's a known fact. He said, quote, I've been on the other side of this. Well, I'd like to ask him today, so which side do you like best? Now that you have been the prosecutor, you've been the judge, you've been at the state attorney's office, and now you're the defendant. So we locked him up at the county jail.
Good.
He says he lives in Palos Hills, Illinois. He requested an attorney.
Y'all hear that right? He live in Palos Hills, Illinois. Palos Hills. Palos Hills. Are you for real? For real? That's right around the corner. Are you for real? For real? Excuse me. You shitting me? You are cray. You shitting me?
Well, Judge, you need an attorney. You got problems. He went to jail in Polk County. Then there's Richard Jackson. He thought he was coming for sex. This guy wouldn't be particularly interesting out of the group. He lives in Orlando, but he worked at a family amusement park called the Fun Spot.
See?
Around children.
Around kids.
Around a lot of people. So we thought it's worthy for people to know, if you go to the Fun Spot, if they still employ him, you need to know that he will do illegal things for money.
This is why this shit needs to be shared.
Nelson Cruz. You know, we got this thing going with food restaurants. He is a manager of a restaurant as well. Cracker Barrel in Altamont Springs.
Cracker Barrel.
He's married.
See, married.
He's worried as well because he's here on a work visa from Honduras. He thought he was coming to have sex. Now, he lives in our county, but obviously he hasn't got the message yet. You know,
you're married. Why would you be going to have sex and you're married? You got a whole wife at home. See, that's what I'm saying. You see their judges, their swim instructors. They work around kids and they have wives. They have families. There's no reason for y'all to be out here pedophiling and stuff like that. That with that judge, I literally wonder how many cases did he properly preside over that involved children? Let's be real now. I'm just saying. But let's listen to dude from Honduras.
You know why he said he did this? Are you ready for this?
Why you do it, bro?
He had an argument with his wife. So he decided that I'll just go have an event with a prostitute.
Could bring his wife back, all type of diseases.
His wife's not happy.
Not like prostitutes have disease or nothing.
He's arrested. And we don't serve Cracker Barrel at the jail, so he won't have to worry about seeing delicious food, only nutritious food. And then there's James Compton. He's 42. He's a graphic designer.
Graphic designer.
He would have all kinds of sex. And he wouldn't be particularly interesting, except for the fact his 17-year-old son was refereeing a youth soccer game across the street. Heck.
As I said, they are parents. He's got a whole motherfucking good ass job. Whole engineer sitting up here. His son is in the game across the street. So that means you have children. That means you have wife, girlfriend, baby mama, something. But you out here preying on little girls. That's the alarming thing.
Hey, I guess he just got tired, right? Let's see. My son's refereeing this youth soccer tournament. I don't have anything to do. I think I'll go across the street and have sex with a prostitute.
Huh.
There's your all-American dad. So he has a criminal history back in 1998 for lewd battery. So the night's wrapping down. We have arrested this child predator who resists us and runs. So we have to tase him. And as is our protocol, when you tase someone, you have an ambulance run an EKG strip to make sure everything's all right. So we have to call an ambulance to the scene, and a fire truck shows up. We've got another undercover deal cooking.
Listen to this, y'all.
So our undercover people try to blow off the deal. Hey, we'll do it tomorrow.
Watch this, y'all.
Here's the deal. There was a guy by the name of Seth Phillips and Christina Garrett.
Here we go, y'all.
Coming from Bradenton. Christina is Seth's girlfriend. Follow this now.
Following it.
Coming from Bradenton, where they're to be paid $1,000 to have sex with two undercover people. They think this is going to be $1,000 in their pocket. They're going to have sex. Going to be a great evening. However, Seth left his wife at home.
Whole
While
wife.
he shows up with his girlfriend. So he gets in the area. We have the guy resist. Now we got to have the fire trucks there and the ambulance and the EKG strip. So we text, our undercovers text and say, hey, the cops are here. Told them the truth. Ambulance is here, fire trucks here. We'll do it tomorrow night. Seth, who's a former Marine and a Lyft driver, is not happy.
He ain't happy, y'all. He pissed.
So here's what he says.
What you say?
I'm mad.
Bad.
I've come all the way over here for $1,000, and now you're blowing me off. You are going to pay me $100 for the ball of meth. You are going to pay me $500 for the cancellation. If not, you better have a lot of friends with guns and a chopper.
Before he said anything, dude right there, dumbass, you better have a lot of guns and a chopper. Little do you know, you talking to nothing but the popos. You talking to the it's getting good.
You'll sleep well if you pay knowing that the boogeyman won't come. And then you continue to threaten. And guess what?
What?
He showed up.
What?
That's right. The ambulance had cleared out. Fire trucks had cleared out. We'd shut the operation down for the night. The detectives were in the house when they...
See, this is the good part. I don't know why it's tweaking right here. This is the good part right here, y'all. This is the good part. While it's loading, as you can see, now that's a woman and a man.
Dina. He does not walk to the house. He sprints to the house, gun in hand. You see where this is going? So our detectives, who are simply the very best, they say to themselves, Self, we think we ought to have a gun.
Y'all should
This
have
guy
a gun.
has just arrived, gun in hand.
Absolutely.
We open the door with 4 of our guys with guns, and he's got a gun above his head. He's coming down with his gun. Christina saves his life by jumping in front of him. He puts the gun in his waistband, so we don't know if he's bringing it down to point it at us or he's counting 4 guns and he brings it down to put. It is that close to a shooting.
He started counting that motherfucker for real.
Microseconds. We take him into custody. He's charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm, attempted robbery, possession of meth, extortion by threat. Christina's charged with prostitution and possession of heroin. And he made the statement during the interview. He became totally cooperative at this point and said, "You would have been right to shoot me." Well, I appreciate his understanding of the gravity of the situation. But because our detectives did exactly what was right, and because Christina got in the way, and she gets credit as well for him being alive today.
Yep. She
Because
saved his
this
life.
was a very tough situation.
He would have been DEA.
I'm going to turn the podium over real quickly to first Chief Andy Ray, a dear friend of mine and a professional, consummate professional law enforcement executive, as are my other friends and colleagues here today for a few.
But as y'all can see, these were professionals, like the judge. He worked for the Cook County Sheriff's Department. I need you to see my face real quick. You work for the Cook County Sheriff's? Oh, hell no. He worked for the Cook County Sheriff's Department. Then he was a judge for Cook County. I'm just saying, like, we need to be for real. We live in a very technologically inclined world. We need to literally like watch our children, because as you can see, like I said, from police officer to judges, swim instructors, 4 of these people worked at Disneyland. They worked at Disneyland right there. And again, Orlando should have been there to intercept this and to see this, but they work for Disneyland. And with that being said, cause a lot of people that lives close to that area, like I said, a judge from what was that? What did it say? Palo Heights or Palo Hills over here in Illinois? It ain't nothing but a suburb of Chicago. That's right round the way, right down the street, round the corner, up the block, down the street. Now, if he's all the way in Polk County, Florida, doing these things, what has he done here in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan? And I'm pretty sure he has other judge friends that partake in his excuse me, particular set of egregious shit that they do. So, what else have you did? What else have you covered up? What else have you been a part of? You see what I'm saying? Then you have all these people that work around children. Like, again, when I go to carnivals, before I saw this, I was already weary of anybody at a carnival. Don't touch my kid. You looking at her too much, I'm gonna dot you in the eye. I would probably. I don't know. I don't provoke violence, but if you looking at my kid a certain type of way, or I see your hand go somewhere, I'm boom. What's wrong with your hand, bro? It slipped. It better not slip. It ain't gonna slip no more. You're gonna be holding that eye, ain't you? You gonna hold that eye. And the rest of us finna jump on you with the other eye. I know you didn't. I'm just saying, yeah, I don't promote violence, but however, I'm just being real serious about the situation at hand. Like, you have all these now. They literally arrested like over 40 people. I'm going to link the video below so you can watch the whole video. They literally arrested 40 people in this sting. 40. Of course, they didn't go one by one, but as you can see, 40 people were arrested in this whole sting of child trafficking, child endangerment. These people were there to allegedly have sex with a 13, 14, 12-year-old. They weren't there to eat popcorn and watch TV with a grown person. And here you have this 66-year-old retired judge hollering, a date? You don't go on dates with 13 and 14-year-olds. Are you crazy? So everybody, just be wary. Be careful. You don't know who these people are. You know what I'm saying? You even have to be wary of careful of people in your family. You really do. You have to be wary and careful of strangers, people in your family, people you don't know, strangers you do know, strangers you don't know, your best friends, friends. You have to be wary of everyone. And this is not to be scared, like, oh my God, everyone's out to get me. No, but just watch your surroundings. Watch the surroundings that your kids are a part of. I grab my child's phone. I will grab that phone in a heartbeat. And if you don't give me the phone, that means there's something on here that you don't want me to see. So that means it's time for me to go smash with the hammer because I pay the bill. But no, my children know that I will take that phone in a heartbeat. Boop, let me take that phone. And they already know. Just give it to her. Just hand it to her. I take phones. I take tablets. I take all that and go through it and look at it. Yes. Because, again, we live in a technological world where they have certain apps that it may look like a calculator and it's not a calculator. Their little friends then taught them little things, and little associates in school that then open up their eyes to certain things. And we as adults and parents have to be aware of this, because as you can see, these were not only predators, but they were also parents, officials, people that you think that you would trust with your child, like a swim instructor. Yeah, I would trust a swim instructor with my child. But now, of course, yes, I'm not saying every person out there that deals with children is a pedophile or I need to see your background. No, if it doesn't fly, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if it doesn't apply to you, you should be kind of in agreement with this, because you don't want your reputation as whatever you is to be tarnished due to something that someone else does that can have you looking for all type of craziness, okay, because the profession you're in. You know what I'm saying? No, don't get it twisted. Some of these people are doctors, lawyers. You know what I'm saying? It's a wide spectrum. So again, it's just more of be careful. Better safe than sorry. I rather know than not know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to make sure everything cool, everything straight. Even far as some of these people are parents. You had the dad that was watching his 17-year-old referee a child sport, but you're trying to have sex with a prostitute. Are you serious? And he had a wife. He had a child. You know what I'm saying? Some of these were full-blown prostitution rings. Some of them were dealing with children. But either way, you know, you still have to be leery of these people you don't know. That's it. That's all. You just have to be aware. Just be aware of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is out to get you. Not everyone is a predator, but know that there are predators out there and they will prey on you. You know, down to dating. I'm going to talk about dating on another episode, about how, you know, dating with men and women. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your other partner is into unless you've been with them a long time, for some years, where you really know this person. Then you could be with a person for years and still not know them. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot, but some men do date women with smaller children so that they can have access to the children. And the woman's not thinking, oh, no, I'm a grown woman. He don't know. You're just a catalyst to his prey. That's it. And some women don't believe it and some women do. Same way with men. Yes, some of these women out here will try to harm your sons and daughters. They will try to sell your sons and daughters. Look at the case down here in, what was that, Alabama or Mississippi? I spoke about, where she literally sold her daughter, and they found her daughter's dead body in the next state over. She sold her own daughter. When, if she didn't want to be bothered with that child, she could have just left the child with the biological father, where the child was cared for and taken care of. So it goes both ways. You know, hey, just be careful. That's all. Just be careful. And again, take a look at the video again. Look at some of them pictures up close real good. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying, you never know. Cook County, all the way down here in Polk County, Florida, would have never known, would have never thought, unless this sheriff wouldn't have showed us. So, again, I just want everyone to be aware and stay self-aware. So, that concludes this episode of the Mayday Mayhaim Mystery. I am your host, Mayday Mayhaim. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. Make sure you do better today than you did yesterday and strive for a better tomorrow today. And we're going to see you next time on a Mayday Mayhaim podcast. And I'm out. Oh, please don't forget to like, click, and subscribe. And please go ahead and follow my podcast over there on Anchor. That streams across all streaming platforms, from Anchor, Google, Apple, Overcast, Undercast, your daddy cast, your mama cast, whatever cast. I'm there. So I will check y'all out next time. And again, stay safe, stay healthy. Know that you're precious cargo. And I'll see you guys next time.
She a winner, that's true. She don't even take L's, eating alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, mayday, mayhem, mayday, mayhem, mayday, mayhem, mayday.